Each year, one senior is given the opportunity to deliver the commencement address. Over 25 students expressed interest, and a committee of seniors and teachers selected one to represent your class. Seniors, it is my pleasure to introduce this year's commencement speaker, a member of the class of 2013, Jordan Klein.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dorr. Today, we've gathered here in Welsh Ryan Arena to celebrate New Trier's class of 2013. Everyone here today is linked by the sole desire to be heard, to be seen, and to belong. Tomorrow, we will all be like gladiators entering a new arena, armed with the experiences we've shared together the past 4 years. And I believe that this small step is just outside of our comfort zones. Everything you want is just outside of your comfort zone. That's my dad over there, smiling right now. Why? Because this is the mantra of our latest father-son activity. P90X. Yeah. And while Tony Horton repeats the importance of stepping out of one's comfort zone several times in each video, his words apply directly to us. Because tomorrow, we will feel vulnerable. Tomorrow, we will explore uncharted territory. And tomorrow, we will all step out of our comfort zones. But we've been in this situation before. See, 4 years ago, we arrived as a class to the Northfield campus, completely out of our comfort zones. In my mind, today is merely a repeat of that gaudy, jungle-themed freshman mixer dance. Let me explain. See, that night, I rolled up my sleeves in an attempt to look muscular and sprayed on a can of Old Spice body spray so I could be the awkward kid you wished you could smell like. I strutted into the blaring Northfield gym, decorated with jungle trees and neon lights, and before I even knew it hit me, I was surrounded by a line of sweaty senior guys in leopard spandex shorts. That night, I witnessed 3 very different groups of people. The first group dropped everything they had and ran into the center of the mob, jumping up and down in a way, well, in a way only post-bar mitzvah partiers know how. The second group slowly inched their way to the outside of the circle, doing their best version of this dance move, looking around at every imaginary critic surrounding them. And then there was a third group, my group. See, too scared to join in the dancing, we stood in the back of the gym and prayed for a savior. Just like we did then, everyone will react differently to tomorrow's step out of our comfort zones. But when we enter that petrified jungle and join in the dancing, we will all share the same emotion: vulnerability. The word vulnerability, it brings me back to a memory of a road trip my mom and I took to St. Louis for a college visit this past fall. We're both, dare I say, undercover nerds, and as a result, we love listening to TED Talks. For those of you who don't know, these TED Talks are speeches given by the world's most accomplished nerds. And driving through the cornfields that day, my mom and I listened to a talk given by social researcher Brené Brown. Mom, I will never forget that moment we shared together. See, in that TED Talk, Brown described the power of vulnerability and how it leads to the sense of belonging that links all of us together. Today, I'm going to share with you a few secrets about vulnerability, and I'll call them the 3 secrets of the world. Secret of the world number 1, everyone experiences vulnerability. Secret of the world number 2, the only true measure of courage is vulnerability. And secret of the world number 3, vulnerability is the gateway to love, understanding, and authenticity. One day our freshman year, we all witnessed the power of vulnerability. We stood in front of a packed auditorium, holding up a mirror to our pasts, our insecurities, and our greatest struggles. That day was Names Day, and for the first time in my life, I did not feel alone, because that day I truly learned secret of the world number 1. Everyone experiences vulnerability. I learned during Names Day that I wasn't the only one who was afraid to eat lunch at school because I couldn't find a place to sit. And I wasn't the only one who was relentlessly teased as I attempted to show some individuality with an absurd clothing trend. My Abercrombie phase. I literally looked and most definitely smelled as if that infamous tween store threw up on me. I used to use a week's worth of gel to make the front of my hair stick up, Post-it note style, and I would spray on cologne like that pungent mist came from the fountain of youth itself. Good times. But during Names Day, I learned I wasn't the only one with this kind of an awkward stage. I wasn't the only one who stood in the back of the gym, too scared to join in the dancing. On that day, I saw vulnerability on the faces of classmates who in middle school I had deemed untouchable. Everyone truly felt empathy that day, because everyone experiences vulnerability. But vulnerability is not always so easy to see. It's often in disguise, perhaps wearing black t-shirts that for one day in April we see swimming upstream through the hallways. Of course, what I'm describing is the New Trier Day of Silence. As you all know, it takes true courage to don that black t-shirt and preach what you believe without saying a word. For on that single day, people can truly wear their hearts upon their sleeves. When we see our friends and we see our classmates wearing these shirts, we saw it as a sign of courage. But isn't it amazing that when we ourselves feel vulnerable, we see it as showing weakness? No, see, the truth is that to show vulnerability is to show courage. Secret of the world number 2, the only true measure of courage is vulnerability. Take a moment now to think about the people in your lives who you respect the most. They're the ones who understand that their imperfections are the things that make them beautiful, and they dare greatly to tell the true stories of themselves with their full hearts. Quite simply, those people, they're the most authentic. And finally, secret of the world number 3, vulnerability is the gateway to love, understanding, and authenticity. I remember my first day here at New Trier High School and how it changed my life forever. It was first period, and it was English class. The room was completely silent, and the nervous energy was palpable. And then, without warning, my teacher rockets up from his seat, and like a Shakespearean actor upon the stage, he proclaims, "In life, we must all be able to gush. You see, life is about gush." And everyone's eyes went, "What is he talking about?" But on the inside, I felt a flame ignite, because on that day, it was Mr. Strom who changed my life forever. He taught me to take off the mask that I put on each and every morning, to shed the armor that weighed me down. I am truly forever in debt to the man who taught me to gush. Because without him, I would have never made all of the amazing friends I have here at New Trier. I would have never gotten the courage to leave the back of the gym and join the rest of you here in the jungle. I would have never had the courage to dance. Secret of the world number 3. Vulnerability is the gateway to love, understanding, and authenticity. We must all be able to gush. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out where the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. No. You see, the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, and who at the worst, if he fails, he at least fails while daring greatly, so his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat." See, there's the rub right there. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena. To all of you here today in Welsh Ryan Arena, I urge you all to step into the next arena, to embrace vulnerability and to be comforted, knowing that we are all gladiators in this together. Thank you and congratulations.